Labas rytas. Good morning. I've chosen English. Why? Because I'm so distant from the topic you are discussing. Then I got some reason to choose my less known language, both topic and the language. At least I felt safe, because the second paper will touch psychiatry, and if something wrong with my reasoning, then somebody will correct or decide whether to invite me to the second conference or not. Anyway, I would like to thank the organizers. It's an honor for me to participate this event, and after being asked to take care of our schedule, I understand that at least I got 5 minutes for my paper. I need to, and 9:30. But why I'm here? I'm a historian. I'm doing some research on the topic we should call a Lithuanian legal culture. The field where normative law and some development of Lithuanian social order, mentality, Lithuanian tradition of democracy are somehow interfaced. I've started with the research of Lithuanian noble tradition. Machinery responds to my way of thinking. When I was asked to share my knowledge of that history topic, I was not so certain that my paper will be first, that my mission will be to play some morning waking up story, but jumping straight to the topic, legal community or the lawyers and the social order, some impact of law and lawyers for Lithuanian society, development of Lithuanian society. It's a really challenging topic, because when I remember people who put the fundamentals of Lithuanian tradition and society, among them start from Dionyzas Poška or Simonas Daukantas or at least Mykolas Riomeris, all of them were the fathers of Lithuanian national movement and the lawyers. Have those things in mind. And when I think about contemporary development, about the role of Lithuanian legal community and Lithuanian lawyers, now I see a very opposite picture. Some isolated, normative, more or less close to the structure of power, but very little with the social order. With no serious impact on Lithuanian mentality, relations between people, and in some respect it's very close to what the first speaker this morning already said, or two first speakers. What I have in mind when I speak about nuosavybė of law, property or law, maybe English version is not so straight, what I had in mind using that Lithuanian metaphor. It comes more or less from negative recognition that our legal society or our lawyers, or including some courts, they look at our law like to property. They own the law. And people, the majority of Lithuanian society, feel like the strangers in that. Somehow I see some continuation of the Soviet tradition when the laws were somehow enforced from the strangers, from the top, and was used only as the instrument to rule society. It's more or less close to what Putin uses to say, diktatūra zakona. Dictatorship of law is not the rule of law. And it remembers me all the Lithuanian debates, starting from mid-16th century, when the genius fruit of Lithuanian political civilization, Lithuanian statehood, was introduced. When the debate came about differences of Lithuanian society from those Muscovy or Oriental despotism, saying that we are free country and free citizens. Even our kings and dukes are the subject of rule of law. And this was the point. Lithuanian noble tradition developed that sort of democracy where judges were elected, where Lithuanian citizens, mostly noblemen, were so well educated in legal field that they could evaluate the candidates. They could elect judges from the community. And it lasted until the end of the 18th century. Somehow, when Lithuanian noble democracy ended, American democracy already started. And maybe de Tocqueville, writing his amazing work and somehow appreciating the American way of democracy and justice, all that stuff. He was maybe distant, he couldn't remember that Polish, Lithuanian Commonwealth developed some sort of democracy and social order where law didn't belong to the lawyers, but the lawyers were elected by the society. This is a fact. It's a simple fact. Everybody from the community of legal historians and historians know that. But somehow that old tradition looks like so distant, like sort of Hollywood piece of art, which doesn't touch us, which doesn't belong to us. That is, for me, a challenging fact. If we speak about Lithuanian tradition, if we speak about Lithuanian 1,000-year nation, then I think that our identity must be based also not only on ethno-linguistic reasons, but on our legal tradition too, which requires much more of legal education for everybody, which requires to put legal reasons to the textile of Lithuanian identity. To be able to understand that if somebody would ask Lithuanian citizen in mid-17th century, in the beginning of the 18th century, and probably before uprising in the mid-19th century, who Lithuanian is, then the answer would be the guy who loves freedom and who believes in Lithuanian statehood. It would be similar to wait today for the answer that Lithuanians are those who believe in Lithuanian constitution. At this very moment, very few of our people would answer that we Lithuanians are those who believe in that principle. In some respect, we would see that even Lithuanian constitution seems to belong only for constitutional law, or for constitutional court. Very few precedents would be with the examples when the judge in any sort of court would base his decision on constitution. Constitution is somewhere distant. Maybe not so distant like in the Soviet time, when everybody of us, older people, would say that the best written piece of art which has nothing to do with the real life. The best written constitution with one bad article, number 6, and the Gulag concentration camps and mass murders. Having that constitution written as a beautiful Byzantine face turned to the West to show how this paradise of socialism is ordered. This is a challenge in my understanding. Yes, I am not a lawyer. Yes, I am a historian. I have a right to be crazy here. And the next presenter will correct me in this respect. But I really believe that we still have a chance to educate the young generation of our lawyers with some specific efforts to make distance between old tradition, moral principles, and the structures of legal power here. That we still have got some duty to return back to those values, to return back to the attitudes or emotional condition where the code of Lithuanian laws would be perceived by the society like Talmud was perceived and still is perceived among some Jewish people. This comparative metaphor is not mine. If I read Tadeusz Czacki or Prawach Litewskich i Polskich, published 2-volume serious book in the year 1800, he used that comparison, saying that our law, our statute of Lithuanian status is like Talmud for the Jews. Because we believe in that. We make our relations on that. We are free nation, free people. We have chosen this. Nobody put on us strangers or our despotic rulers. We participated in that. And somehow I think that both a lawyer has got a mission here, not only to participate in this game of power, but also to feel like a missionary to educate own society. Participate in sometimes maybe psychologically not safe fields of action. At this very moment, I see very few of lawyers among the activists of civil society. Not very much of them participate non-professional associations. Very few of volunteer activists, lawyers to defend some weakest side of Lithuanian society. We leave that for Hollywood science fiction or fiction at all. It's so nice to watch Pelican Brief or some other cases, but he hasn't got even the criminal fictions here in Lithuania where some nice hero from our legal society would defend some badly affected, weakest member of us. It sounds like from previous speaker who invited to think more about moral duties. But my skeptical English, my skeptical Lithuanian English just provides the idea that the role of legal society or community, the role, social role, is to turn much more yourself, ourselves to the social missionaries, educators of the society, remembering all the time that our law belongs to the nation, but not to the lawyers. Thank you